Cold, when the season. Welcome back to my channel once again. If you are, well, no. Hello there, welcome back to my channel. If you are here for the first time, this is Messi Shamaki, and if you're a returning subscriber, you are a real one. Thank you so much for coming back to this video. As you can see from the title, is story time. Is a story time, and I'm going to share a very personal story that ended on a good note. Glory be to God. Because I was getting so down, I was getting really discouraged, and yeah, let's get into the story. I'm so excited. Those of you who don't know, I am a law graduate. Thank you. So, yes, I am a graduate of law from Bingham University, Nasarawa State, and throughout my 5 years in that school, it's been a beautiful journey. I have so many memories now that I've left the school. There are times I wish, I was in school, but no, I thank God that I've moved on, you know. But there are certain lessons that I've learned, certain experiences that I've had and I've built. And besides just my academics, there are other areas of my life that I've developed. My leadership roles that I've taken in course of being in the school has really helped me a lot. So, but today I'm going to stick with academics because that is the primary thing. Because if you go to school and you come out with a lower school and you come out with a low grade, something that is not expected, you know. I mean, for people like us, generally your parents would definitely want you to finish with a very good grade. And if you don't, no matter the leadership CV you are able to build in course of your years in school, it will not matter to them, except if you are able to really prove to them that yes, I can use this thing to really make a life out of it. So let's get into the story. Coming in 100 level, I had no idea what I was doing. All I knew was that I wanted to study law. I was not forced to study law. Nobody, of course, there are certain factors that influenced me. We are always influenced by certain things to make some decisions. But generally, I chose law. I chose to study law, and I'm very happy that I chose that course. So, my first year went through. My second year, no, my first year, first semester, my GPA first semester was 3.9. When I saw that result, I cringed. You know why? That is a bad sign for me. People are different. I'm just sharing my story, all right? People are different. But for me, as a starting point, 3.9 is bad because the general view that people have is as you go higher, your CGPA will go lower because the higher you go, the tougher it is. That is the general belief, and it has always been for years. I mean, this is Nigeria, right? So 3.9, I was so scared. And then the second semester, 100 level, I finished with a 4 points, I just like 4.0 GPA. And I'm telling you the truth, you guys, from that point, it was going down, 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 and down. So bad that to a point, there are times that I will just see my results and all I do is just shut it out and cry. Like I'll go back to school the next semester and I'm just so overwhelmed with what I can do to push this thing up. No matter what I did, it did not work. And now that I think of it, that was one of the things that actually held me back. I was so overwhelmed. I naturally tend to overthink when certain things are really very important to me. I tend to have this, like my thoughts overwhelm me a lot. So that happened, and even in course of those period, I took up many leadership roles, and I am grateful that I took those positions. I don't regret it at all. I don't. But my academics was suffering. It was. And the reason is because there were certain things I was not doing. You see, when we go to the university, a lot of people go there with the, let me call it the secondary school mindset. You get where you think that it's just by reading, like you just read and you pass. Or you think you, because you are naturally a brain box, that is what we used to call it. I don't know if it is still that way. Because you think you're a natural brain box, then you will just find it easy to scale through. There are people that scale through university, and the hours that they put into reading is nothing compared to the hours that I spent reading those days when my results were really bad. I mean, the last result I even had, the hours I spent reading was less compared to the hours I spent years prior. So for me, it has really taught me a lot about university life, what it truly means to build and have academic success in the university. Now, let me let you know that it is very possible. The first class, it is possible. A grade 2 1, it is very, very possible. So I will just share a few things that has helped me. All right, so number one, I will change my reading habits. Yes, your reading habits could be the reason why you're not getting the best of results. Now, I remember before my final year, the way I do read is page to page, word for word, back to back. Everything I want to understand, everything I want to know, everything. But the truth is, have you ever thought that it's not everything that will come out in your exam? Yes, not everything in that book. That does not mean that you should don't know it. That doesn't mean that you should not understand it. Of course, you need to read to understand. But I'm talking when you are getting close to exam, like 1 month, 2 weeks to exam, you cannot read everything. That I can assure you, you can't. Before then, you can read everything. But to exam time, and you are still reading everything, my dear, I don't think that would serve. For me, it did not serve. So it's probably not. So I remember I would read everything, cram all the sections, cram all the cases, and then I'll get to exam hall and I'll just remember two. Imagine after cramming or learning like between 5 to 10 cases, and I remember only two. That for me was very, very discouraging. So what I did was that I went on YouTube and I came across this academy, Conjoy Academy. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but if I get the link to their channel, I would put it in the comment section so that you can gain value from them too as well. Because I really learned a lot from their content. They are doctors, and they even explain how you can hack your brain to learn better, how your overall well-being as a person affects your results, not just reading, because if you are reading and you're not taking care of other aspects of your life, you're reading 12 hours at a stretch and you think your brain is getting something, you are not getting anything. So that may be one of the reasons why you are not having the best of results. You're not learning to read properly. You're not building a good reading habit because you think that reading for 5 hours at a stretch and covering this number of topics means that you are ready. Meanwhile, it's not. I had to learn to spend time with God. See, let me tell you the truth. I know, yes, this is a YouTube channel and I'm creating content to educate and inspire you all, but if you take out the God factor in anything that you do, you're going to lose it. You're going to lose everything. That is the truth. Because the way the world is created, the way the system of the world operates is a fast lane. And it's so fast that The moment you take a break from it for just a day and you come back, you feel so left behind, so depressed, so downcasted, and you feel like you have not done anything at all. Meanwhile, you have actually done a lot. So, spending time with God, meditating on the Word of God has really helped me in knowing who I am, in knowing my identity, and knowing that this thing called academic success is my portion. I cannot be a child of God and I'll be failing exams or be finishing with bad grades or low grades. It's not possible. And it's only when you spend time with God, you spend time going for fellowship, and you read His Word, that is when you can know, claim, and live the words. All right. So, the major thing I worked on was to take care of myself. Yes, take care of yourself. All right. Just see, pressure will always be there. It will always be there. So take out time for yourself. Take out time to just relax. I remember because back in school, I do go to read with my friends on weekends, like Saturdays. I spend most of my time on Saturdays reading. But there are times after I've done that consecutively for like 2, 3 weeks, the next Saturday I would tell them, I say bye bye. People should go and read. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to sit in my room, watch movie, watch YouTube videos, and sleep. And it was so refreshing. Sincerely, now I can even really feel how calm I felt that time anytime I do that. Like I know I've read, I know I've covered a lot of ground. So let me reward myself with this one day off. Okay? It's not going to kill you. You will not fail. So now that is not to encourage laziness, please. You also have to be disciplined in it. So when you're taking breaks, you have to be disciplined in it. Even when reading, when you're taking breaks, like while reading, you have to be disciplined in it. Most times I set alarms so that when it's time to go back to my books, it would go off and I would know that okay, oh Mercy, it's time to move your legs and put your head in the book and read. Alright, so taking care is very, very important. Work out. If you know me personally, like those of you that are here, you know that I am very serious about physical health and taking your walks, working out, exercising, reading great books would really help you in building great healthy lifestyle because all of this overall affects your mental capacity, affects your mind, encourages your mental health to become stronger, and you'll be ready to face whatever pressure it is that comes with books and tests and demands from lecturers and school in general. So these ask questions. Now we are generally taught that asking questions makes you look like you don't know anything or you don't understand anything. Meanwhile, that is not necessarily the case. Yes, you may not know something, but there are times that you know it, but there is an aspect that you need to be clarified on. And it's only when you ask, even the Bible recognizes it. It says, ask and ye shall receive. If you don't ask, how will you get? How will you receive? Hmm? Or you think it's only money you'll be asking for? Ask for knowledge. Seek knowledge. Seek wisdom. And don't lose it. So ask anything that you don't know. Ask. It got to a point where I felt like if I'm asking a question and somebody else that is my classmate answers the question, I begin to look down on myself like this person knows the answer to this thing and I don't know it. Why would somebody else ask question and me answer? But let me tell you what you're doing. When you ask a question, it shows that your mind is ready to learn. Like your psyche is open, is ready, is curious. It wants to know that thing at that point in time. Because you have been reading, you have been studying, you can't know it all. So when you ask that question and you are properly informed, you are guided, I can assure you that you are well equipped and ready for the next test and exam. The final tip that I'll be sharing, though it's definitely not the least, is to pay attention. What did I say? Pay attention. Pay attention in class. Now, this may vary, but on a general note, learn to listen in class. I remember before my final year, I was the type of person that would listen and be writing. And as much as that works, I can assure you that it is not the best way, because the mind is not built in for the purpose of multitasking. Yes, there are people that generally have that ability easily than others, but generally, and speaking generally, if we really want to maximize the capacity our brain affords us, you cannot be listening and be writing at the same time. You can't. If you want to try it, next time you have a class, listen and write. As lecturer is lecturing, explaining certain concepts, be writing and be listening. And then another time, just listen. Just listen. Then after the class, sit down and try to jot out what you learned from that class and compare the two and tell me which one you remember better. I can assure you that you remember the second class better than the first. Why? Because you are listening, you are paying attention. You are paying attention actively. Alright, but when you are listening and writing, your brain is not able to manifest its best capacity. And any information that you are trying to put in there will easily be lost. That is why you will have to go over the notes again and again and again and again before you can write well and remember what you did. But if you just listen, ask questions, engage in the class, fix your eyes on the lecturer, sit in the front row so that you will not be easily distracted. And then after, try to recall what was discussed in the class and form your notes from it. I can assure you, you will be surprised at what you write from your head. You will write meaningful points. All right, so please, these are the changes that I made. It's not all, but for the purpose of this video, it can't be so long. But these are the ones that I did, and they did make a significant change in my grades. And at the end of the semester, last semester, I finished with the best result I ever had since I entered the university. I mean, I had a GPA of 4.6, although my CGPA is not that high because of my results earlier. But I thank God I was still able to finish with a 2-1, and I finished with the best result I ever had since I entered university. So let me tell you, whatever level it is you are on, whether you are in 500 level or 400 level for a 4-year course, this is your final year, your final semester. Let me tell you, it is still possible. It is still possible to finish with that grade that you want. If you are that boundary line, you are just so scared that, oh, I'm going to finish with a third class, or you're going to finish with a 2-2. I can assure you that it is possible to not go back. It is very, very possible. So feel free to share this video if you found it valuable. And yes, if you use these tips, please don't forget to come back to my comment section and share your stories with me. I'll be very excited and encouraged to see your testimonies in my comment section. And yes, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe to my channel to make sure that this content gets to other people so that it will bless them and it will be of value to them. So thank you so much for watching. See you guys.